Good afternoon, Notre Dame, and friends of Notre Dame, welcome. Glad that you have joined us this afternoon. We have happy news for a change. We're excited to tell you that Notre Dame is going to open up. But now, wait a minute, don't run, get your slippers, don't get your keys just yet and head for the car. There's a few things that we need to discuss first. Indeed, we are going to open up. But as the Pope spoke last week with the opening up of countries and cities and states governments, he said that we need to use prudence in beginning to open up. And I think that even applies directly to our churches as well. I know that Cardinal DiNardo, in his letter to the priest and the archdiocese, he spoke about being careful as we open up. And indeed, that's what we've been doing. We've been planning and trying to do well so that we provide a safe environment so that not only can you come and worship, but that you can leave knowing that we've done everything possible to keep you safe and healthy. But first of all, the bishop, one of the things he wanted to remind everyone is that Sunday obligation to attend Mass on Sunday and holy days, that remains suspended in the Archdiocese throughout this pandemic, this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we encourage all of you to watch the Masses that are being live streamed on our website. Go to ndgh.org or go to pull down my parish app and scroll to Notre Dame, and you'll have our parish where you can watch Masses that are being live streamed throughout the week. We encourage those who are the most vulnerable also. And we ask that, as hard as this is for us to ask, we ask that you remain at home, because if you are vulnerable, then you might either be a carrier or someone could pass it to you. If you have underlying health issues, please look at the live stream Masses, remain at home. So who should be home? Well, they say those over 65 and over. If you have any underlying chronic diseases, heart disease, diabetes, kidney failure, liver disease, chronic kidney or liver disease, weak immune systems. If you're running a fever, if you're coughing, you're sick, you have a fever, anything that you could put anybody at risk, please stay home for your well-being and the well-being of others. And then now talking about our Mass here with you. One of the things that we have to observe is the civil government's limits on how many people can gather at any one time. They say that we can have 25% capacity here at the church at any one given time for any Mass. For us, that is about 275 people that we can allow in the church at any one given time. So if we reach the allowed capacity at Mass and you're coming and you've traveled here, please be understanding if the usher asks that you remain outside, go to your car and listen to it being live streamed perhaps, but please understand that we need your cooperation, your help. We have to abide by the civil law. Our Mass times that we're going to be having Masses throughout the week will be posted on our website. At this time, there's going to be 3 opportunities for public access to our Masses. And the first one's going to be this Sunday, Mother's Day. What a wonderful way to start public access to our churches as we honor our mothers. 9 a.m. will be English Mass, and then at noon we will have a Spanish Mass. Both of these will be open to the public, and so we invite you to make your plan. But again, remember the limitations that we have of only 275 people will be allowed. Part of this is because we have to sanitize the church after every Mass and every event in the church. So that's going to be taking place after every Mass that we celebrate here in the church. All of our other Masses will be live streamed, so please check the website for days and times for these. And then we encourage you now to listen as I go through some of the things. What is it going to look like when we reopen the church? Well, the first thing that we're going to ask is that everyone is wearing a mask. When you arrive at church, before you come through those front doors, you have to be wearing a mask. And then we ask that that mask be worn throughout the celebration of the Mass. We know that we're not crazy about wearing those masks. I certainly am not. But for your well-being and particularly for the safety of others, it's important that you wear a mask at all times while in the church. You're going to find that if you come around to the chapel side of the church or the side of the church, these doors will be locked. The only doors that will be open will be the two main doors by our Mary window. That's in the front of the church. Those doors will be made accessible for you to enter the church. And we ask that again, when you leave the church, that you use those same doors. That limits the amount of touching and the possibility of contact. And so we ask that you please observe those guidelines. Some parts of the church are going to be closed off. It means we're going to try to fill section at a time. Because of the need for cleaning after every Mass, it's important that we try to consolidate the people, and we will have ushers that will guide you from the moment you come to the door to the time that you are seated. And so we ask that you hear and listen to what they have to say and take their guidance and give them a big smile. They're all volunteers. They're just trying to do really good things. The books have been removed for sanitation reasons, so you're not going to find books, the hymnals, the prayer books in the pews at this time, and that's for sanitation reasons. Also, then, we have to remember that you have to practice safe space. The social distancing, that remains in effect when you come into our church. Families that come in together, they may be seated in the pew together. However, those outside of that family, remember, it will be 6 feet apart, so that is double arm's length to your next neighbor in the pew. Every other pew will not be occupied, so there will be spacing even in between the pews. So it's every other pew that will be filled, and the other pew will remain empty throughout the celebration. Remember, no physical contact, such as shaking hands or holding hands during the Lord's Prayer or during the sign of peace. At the sign of peace, remember, we just turn to our neighbor, bow, smile, give them a pleasant greeting, but no contact. No congregating before or after Mass, because again, we do have to clean the church. We're going to ask that once the service is over, that you leave the premises, leave the church, so that we can sanitize the church and all of its facilities. And again, the congregating, we don't want people congregating for the very risk of sanitation, of not potentially passing anything on to anyone. The offertory. What can I say about that? Other than this parish is the most wonderful parish when it has come to its stewardship, its love of Notre Dame. In these times, and we know that they've been hard for so many people. Some people, they are been furloughed, others terminated from their jobs. We know it's a difficult time, and yet you as a parish have consistently given, you have kept up the stewardship for this parish. When you come in on Sunday, what you're going to see is there will be baskets in the narthex, and these baskets will be there marked, identified for the first collection and for our capital campaign. You may drop your donation off at that time, or you can bring it by during the week and drop it off by the parish office. Don't forget, there's also the possibility for online giving. At Holy Communion, remain in your pew, the priest will come to you. The vacant pew will be the pew that the priest will use as he passes down through the bayou, and we ask that only receive in the hand. Keep your mask on until the priest has given the Holy Eucharist to you in your hand, and as he passes to the next person, then we ask that you remove your mask, consume the Holy Eucharist, and then place the mask back on your face. So it's going to be very different. It's going to be unique, but definitely we know that we can get through, and it's going to be beautiful. If you have gloves on, we ask that you do please remove those prior to receiving the Eucharist. Finally, the church is going to be sanitized, as I said, after each Mass, and this is going to require a lot of cleaning supplies. If you can afford to help us by donating cleaning supplies, that might be hand sanitizers, disinfectant, sanitary wipes, that sort of thing, please, you can just call the front office, let them know about that, and we will be glad to accept that donations. Something to remember, that we're all in this together. if we've learned anything about this pandemic, is that we are all in this together. For some, I know we will not be moving fast enough to open the church completely, but we need your understanding, we need your patience. Your help, your safety, that's our top priority. And then your help will be by your presence here at Mass, by your understanding, your willingness to help when called upon. We're going to need volunteers. This is going to be going on for a long time, sanitizing the church after every Mass, after every event. So if you can volunteer to help, call the office, let them know that you're available. Leave your name, your number, and if called upon, we'd be grateful if you can help. That's it, folks. We're going to see you soon. We're going to see you Sunday, 9 a.m. Mass. The Spanish Mass is at noon. We're going to begin. There will be live streaming of the Sunday Mass on Saturday evening. For those of you who will not be attending Mass, remember that live streaming is always going to be taking place so that you can view that together as family in the safety of your homes. God bless, and hope to see you soon. Take care.